The community agrees on one thing completely, and that's exactly where the mistake lies. Whenever a retro handheld pops up for under $50, it's immediately declared the only sensible choice before anyone has even taken the thing out of the box. That $50 limit is almost a matter of fate. Stay below it, and you've won. Go above it, and apparently you've paid too much. The problem is, nobody has asked whether that limit is actually real for these three devices, or whether it only exists on paper written by the sellers themselves. All three handhelds claim to fit into exactly this price window, and in the end, probably only one of them honestly delivers what the other two merely promise. Which one that is, none of the three product pages will tell you. Let's start with the device that has the reputation of always being around $50, the Miyoo Mini Plus. But that's only partially true. Its regular price tends to hover around $80, and only during sale periods does it drop to just over $50. What it does offer is, by far, the smallest device in this comparison. It fits into any jacket pocket without you even noticing it. No HDMI, no analog sticks, but it does have Wi-Fi and one of the cleanest community firmware ecosystems in the budget segment. Sounds solid, and it's a good device for gaming on the go with everything you need. But one question remains. What if the real price breaker isn't this one at all, but the next device, and for a reason hardly anyone talks about? The R36S would be the clear winner on paper. Dual analog sticks, which the other two don't have at all, HDMI, unfortunately only through an adapter, and a street price of under $30 on some platforms. This is exactly where the mistake happens that hardly anyone talks about. Those same platforms also sell clones under the exact same name, sometimes with swap memory cards, which can stop working after just a few days or lose saved files. So when you buy one, you're not just buying a device, you're buying a lottery where the price alone tells you almost nothing about the outcome. These exact cases later show up in return comments, while other buyers remain perfectly happy with the same device for years. But if you get one that's stable, your favorite games can be just as much fun on it. Before we get to the third device, quickly subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And then there's the RG35XX Plus, the device that treats the $50 limit most honestly, by simply almost never going below it, starting at roughly $60 to $80 and barely dropping cents. In return, you get HDMI directly out of the box, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and the broadest custom firmware scene of all three. No analog sticks, but a price without sale tricks and without the clone lottery. Which leaves us with a question none of the three manufacturers really want to answer. Is the $50 limit even the right criterion? Or does it simply hide what actually matters? The honest answer, if you really want to stay under $50 and need dual analog sticks, go for the R36S, but only from a seller offering a branded memory card, never the cheapest listing at the top. If you want HDMI and Wi-Fi without the risk, consciously spend the extra few dollars on the RG35XX Plus. If you simply want the smallest, least complicated device, get the Miyoo Mini Plus during the next sale window. Now you know exactly which compromise you're making, and before this video, none of you three really did.